The air system is held on by two 1/4 28 nuts, one on each side. The first one is here and the second one is there. Using a 1/2 inch wrench, break them loose, unscrew them, but do not take them all the way off. Okay, with the nuts being loose, you can now see the air system is free of the base, but the nuts are still holding it secure. What we need now to do is to start cutting air lines so that we can free up the air system from the rest of the unit. Now there's several ways to do this. You can do it neatly, or you can just do it just to trim the lines right now. If I can get to them right away, I just pull them off. What we're going to do is we want to remove all of these lines here. So what I do is I just start cutting. And trust me, you will be able to put this back at the end of this video. So don't worry about marking lines or anything. You'll be okay doing that. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to cut the main cylinder lines, one on each side. And then there's one line here that goes to underneath to control the auxiliary valve. We're just going to cut that as well. And that should free up all the lines for that part of the air system. Two other lines left that we're going to cut, and I'll show you where they are. Okay, the two other lines we need to trim off or cut are connected to the valve that causes the cross slide to return home in a box pattern. And all you do is just find the line, trim it, find the line, and trim it. When we're done, these lines will not be hanging here. They will be rerouted to a different area. But again, this is a rebuild on a machine that's probably 30 years old. So it's done a lot of work. Okay, now comes the moment of truth. What we're going to do is we're going to unscrew the nuts, one, unscrew the nuts on the other side, grab the air slide, the air system, both sides, and pull. Now we've got a line that I didn't detach. It happens. Just get your cutters and just trim it. These lines here are the ones that lead to the back. It's okay, they're going to slide out. And there you have the air slide system in its glory. And it has seen some wear, but it's really not in too bad a shape. So we'll set this aside. Now we'll turn our attention to the main cylinder. Okay, we're about to remove the main cylinder, the guide bar, the kind check. What you're going to need to do this task is you're going to need an 11/16 wrench to remove the mounting nut. You're going to need a 3/16 Allen wrench to remove the screws. And we're going to need a 1/2 inch wrench to remove the connecting block from the piston rod. First thing we're going to do is we're going to crack loose this connecting nut and just loosen it up and remove it. We'll put it into our bucket. Now, once you do that, your assembly is loose and your cylinder is loose. Next thing we can do is we'll remove the guide bar blocks. And once we remove this whole assembly will come right off. Like so. That leaves us now with the main cylinder. First thing I want to do is remove the kind check. Depending on how long the machine has been around, depends how long or how much the torque you're going to need to remove these screws. Once these two screws are removed, you can remove the kind check. Just set it aside with the rest of your parts. Now essentially all we have left is the main cylinder. And we have to remove the connecting block in the front, and I'll show you how to do that. Okay, the connecting block in the front, we're just going to simply grab a hold of the block to one side and loosen up the cylinder rod, and it should unthread easily from the block. And once it does, we'll remove the cylinder. Connecting rod is removed. Place it in our box of parts. And now the main cylinder is totally free on its own. We'll just remove the bolts to remove the base, remove it off the base. Okay, we've got 4 bolts to remove the cylinder. 3/16 Allen wrench, 2 cap screws in the front, two cap screws in the back, and as I stated, when we reassemble, I'll let you know what length screws go where. Remove them, remove them. The cylinder is now free. So that is it for disassembling the main components of the Bradmatic. Next, we will tackle the rebuild of the main cylinder here. We'll replace the seals, the end seals, the piston seals, make sure it's cleaned up, realign it. We're going to, of course, put new tubing, and then we'll test it.